So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at Meta. And unfortunately, while they are laying off thousands and thousands of employees, it does seem like this company is focusing on special type of engineers. I have Nick here who's going to explain to us a little bit of what's happening with this big tech giant and maybe their AI or chip move. Nick, good morning, and I'll let you take the lead here.
Yeah, Jose, this was an interesting bit of news that came out on, I believe Reuters broke this news on Friday last week that Meta went and hired at least 10 former employees from the UK startup Graphcore. Now, maybe before we dive into the Meta news specifically, maybe Graphcore needs an introduction, Jose. Is this a company that you're familiar with?
Not too familiar. I just kind of prior to this article, right? It's not one I've known about.
Yeah, I personally have seen it off and on over the years, um, and they've been kind of pumping this special AI chip that they built from the ground up. But it's probably not on a lot of investors' radar because it's a private company, it's a startup at this point, based in the UK. But they developed this chip that they call the IPU. You know, just what we need, another acronym, right? But the IPU, the Intelligence Processing Unit, basically what this is it's another type of accelerator, and so they say it can like kind of help speed up AI algorithms by an order of magnitude over and above the GPU. At any rate, GraphCore has been in some trouble the last few years. I think it just is a testament to how difficult uh, starting up a new semiconductor business is. At one point, they were a $2.8 billion company. Some of their early stage investors have written it off as a zero as of
Oh
late.
wow.
So Meta took advantage of it and said, "Hey, let's take 10 of these engineers and put them to work on our data center systems." So it doesn't sound like Meta. They didn't confirm precisely what the employees were going to be doing, but it sounds more like maybe they're going to be working on the data center infrastructure overall rather than specific chips for Meta. But it'll be interesting to see if this develops into anything because, you know, as Mark Zuckerberg had said a number of months ago, 2023 is the year of efficiency. And it looks like AI is how they're going to do it. Out with the human employees, in with the AI. And so anything that they can get their hands on in the AI department, that's what they want right now to boost their operating efficiency. So that's what's going on here, Jose. Um, yeah, again, interesting here. What are your thoughts on this? It doesn't look like Meta is going to be a chip company, but maybe still impressive news.
Discover the world of semiconductors without getting lost in the technical jargon. My new membership offers a perfect balance for investors looking to understand this exciting market. Using my electrical engineering knowledge and experience, I will release weekly exclusive videos ranging from quick 5-minute 101s to in-depth analysis, covering not just popular chip stocks, but aiming to explore every public semiconductor. Plus, join a private community of like-minded investors. Finally, I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Yeah, I think so, Nick. And like you mentioned, right, this year, like Mark has been mentioning, is the year of efficiency. Not this earnings call. I remember, I think it was previous earnings call. They did mention, like you said here, that they are working on optimizing some new form of data center solution, or their new centers are going to be built a little bit different. And I wonder if, I mean, obviously these chip engineers, if they were creating more of a if the IPU was meant more for servers or stuff like that, they obviously have some form of background to kind of help with this optimization. And hiring a few engineers that can overall help the efficiency here, I think, might be a great move. Like you mentioned, right? Meta AI, is developing a lot of generative AI tools that we should be. If I remember, in the most recent earnings call, they mentioned in the upcoming months we should start hearing more about that. So again, this can overall help out with that. And I do remember Meta, another thing that they mentioned is they were discussing or kind of giving themselves a pat in the back of, hey, we kind of did a lot of the bulk purchasing of hardware earlier on. Now we're just kind of working on optimizing it before we continue with the next leg of purchasing. We want to see how much we can really push our hardware. We can see how much wiggle room we have, and do we need to go on and spend more money. And I believe this is going to help with that efficiency. Um, I mean, at the moment, it doesn't seem like Meta is focusing on becoming a chip company, but we've seen a lot of big tech players kind of focus on creating their own chips. So I don't know. Maybe this might be a push for them, a early way to kind of maybe start thinking of that idea. But definitely interesting. I'm a long term bull of Meta. I really do enjoy the company. I think we've discussed it a bit here, Nick, where this is more than just a social company, and we're really seeing kind of their tech innovations continue to jump over time. So I'm happy as a Meta investor, but it's not something that's going to make increase my overall bullish thesis. How about for you, Nick?
Yeah, the same here. Like we've talked about before, Jose, I think a lot of investors just hate the social media element of the business without realizing all of the actual hard asset engineering work that goes on at this business behind the scenes. It really is an impressive company. If you just like nerdy tech infrastructure, Meta is awesome. It's an awesome business. And that's what really makes the social media apps tick. But in the coming years, I think, as they continue to develop these AI systems, we'll see more things like, on the back end, if you're a business that advertises on Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or uses WhatsApp services, you're going to get some benefit from the AI that they're working on there. But just from a maybe a consumer facing point of view, we'll start to see more of these generative AI tools that Microsoft invested in. And I think that's a stepping stone for Meta towards that ultimate, maybe 10 years plus down the road goal of being a metaverse company, a 3D internet business. Cool stuff. I think it'll be interesting to see how they're able to optimize their systems.
Yep, definitely, Nick. And I think this is a great way to end this segment. So appreciate you sharing this information with us and the viewers.